The environmental movement. Presentation by Caitlin, JT, and Gabe. Alright, the London smog. The smog covered London in 1952. Cold weather combined with an anticyclone stirred up pollutants and spread them across the city. Over the 4-day period, 12,000 people died and 100,000 became sick. This disaster brought recognition to some of the damaging effects human industrialization had on the environment. Silent Spring. Marine biologist and conservationist Rachel Carson wrote a book entitled Silent Spring, which shed light on the harmful effects of pesticides on the animal population. This led to a ban on DDT and advanced the environmentalist movement. The Cuyahoga River. The Cuyahoga River in Cleveland, Ohio was one of the most polluted rivers in the United States. The river caught fire in 1969 due to oil and debris that were mixed in with the river water. Protesters were all over the river. This fire brought more concern to the environmental damage. This was originally celebrated by mostly colleges and universities with members in the environmental movement. At a UNESCO conference in San Francisco, activist John McConnell came up with the idea of Earth Day. It was the first celebrated in 1970. Speakers and activists gathered in many large cities to honor the Earth. The EPA. The EPA was proposed by Richard Nixon and started operating on December 2, 1970. It maintains and enforces environmental laws and regulations. This agency has legislations on oil pollution, clean air, drinking water, energy, pesticides, and radiation protection. The Clean Air and Water Acts are designed to control and prevent excessive amounts of pollution to the sky and to bodies of water. The Clean Air Act was effective in 1963 and the Clean Water Act in 1972. Both were introduced by the EPA. Signed into action in 1973, this act protected species of animals with dwindling numbers. This was brought into action to protect species such as bald eagles, who were being hunted and were unable to reproduce due to DDT. People suspected many environmentalists of hating industry and globalization instead of supporting environmental change. Acts of violence have even occurred due to the radical views of eco-anarchists. These include sabotage, blockades, and arson. Many problems that were discovered in the 60s and 70s we still face today. Problems such as ozone depletion, global warming, acid rain, and biogenetic pollution. The environmentalist movement helped spawn federal institutions and legislations that still exist and affect us to this day.